By behaving in a professional manner throughout your contact with law enforcement, you will enhance not only your image, but that of security officers in general. While it may be said that in the past just anyone could be a private security officer, in the 90s that is no longer true. Today's private security officer is knowledgeable, trained, and professional, and is an integral part of law enforcement. Security officers are not trained or expected to be police officers. However, security officers do play an essential role in law enforcement. The security officer must always remember their job is to observe and report, not to become aggressive and chase after criminals. Once that is understood, the security officer and the police officer can work well together. The security officer does not have the authority to make arrests on behalf of the security agency or their client. As such, they should not try to intervene or attempt to stop a crime from occurring. Instead, mindful of the civil liabilities that could arise from such overt action, a security officer should be the best witness possible. When a crime is discovered, the security officer should notify the police and fire aid companies if needed, and assist the victim of the crime until the police arrive. Also, the security officer should take accurate and detailed notes of what they saw or heard on their own or from witnesses and preserve any evidence found. When interviewing and finding witnesses, the security officer must remember that they are not the police, so they must be careful not to overstep their authority. Some initial information gathering, such as names and brief details of what the witnesses saw, will suffice to properly brief the first police officer to arrive. The security officer is to document and present all information as requested by the police officer. Every item of evidence that is untouched and secured makes the chances of convicting the criminal that much stronger. If the security officer does their job well, the chances of a capture and conviction of a criminal are greatly enhanced. The security officer that keeps proper notes, that is first on the scene, takes names and addresses of witnesses, and keeps others clear of the scene until the police arrive, will be a valuable witness in a future case. The security officer must keep good notes and write proper security officer reports for future reference so that there is never a question about the facts of the case. Credible witnesses are a necessity to convict criminals, and the security officer is an integral part in the successful conviction.
He was white. I didn't really get a very good look at him because he was going so fast.
How about his clothing?
All I can remember is a red shirt.
A red shirt. And about how tall do you think he was? Would you say
like
tall, medium, short?
Probably medium.
Medium?
I would say like close to 5'10" to 6 feet, somewhere in
Okay.
there. I don't know.
And how was he built? How much did he weigh?
He looked like he was stocky on the top, but I don't know, probably close to 200 pounds.
Did you notice any facial hair?
I didn't. He was just moving quick.
And have you ever seen this guy before?
No, but we have a lot of people in and out of this area, so it wouldn't, even if he was here before, I wouldn't recognize him.
Okay. As I told your friend, the police officer gets here, he'll want to talk to you. He's over
Okay.
there doing some other stuff right now, so please don't leave until he contacts you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Security officers play a major role in the security of people, property, equipment, and goods in our nation. Security officers do not stop criminal acts. That is done by law enforcement agencies. Security officers most of the time can deter criminal acts just by their uniform presence at a scene. Security officers become the eyes and ears of police officers by their actions of observing what is happening and reporting what they have seen. Not getting involved by stopping a criminal from committing a crime, but by getting police officers on the scene when and where they are needed, then giving them the information and assistance they need to do their job. There are three basic patrol techniques. These are stationary posts where the security officer mans a desk or specific post and remains there throughout their shift. Mobile patrols where the security officer has a walking post that requires the security officer to check a site's interior or exterior security or both. And finally, vehicle patrol, where the security officer drives a vehicle to cover a large area or number of sites. Most often, though, a security officer's post will require some combination of these three techniques. Even when in a vehicle, the security officer must get out and perform walking or mobile checks on their site. The security officer must maintain correct log entries of all comings and goings and follow any other client instructions, which are usually denoted in the client instruction book maintained at the stationary post. The security officer should familiarize themselves with the instruction book when they first man the site to check for any updates or revisions. The stationary post requires the security officer to man a specific place from which they will monitor the entry and exit of employees and visitors.
Will you give me an escort to my car?
Sure I will. Let me log you out real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Jennifer, you be working late tonight?
Yeah, I'll be here probably till 7.
Okay, would you make sure to check out with me on your way outside the door?
Sure, that's
Thanks.
fine. You're welcome.
Good night.
The mobile patrol is performed on foot. The security officer will again check for any special instructions, then perform their initial interior rove. During this first rove, the security officer is looking for any employees left on the site in order to be sure as they leave how many are left inside and what their locations are. While on the first rove, offices are checked to ensure that any machinery or office equipment left on is turned off per the site instruction book. After the first interior rove is finished, the lockdown of all exterior doors is completed, and any employees contacted advised as to which exit door to use when leaving. On the vehicle patrol, the security officer will be driving to the client's site or sites. After arrival at the site, the security officer will usually go mobile and continue his site check on foot, generally checking the exterior of the site for security and, if necessary, per client instructions, performing an interior rove also for security. In all these techniques except stationary, it is important to vary your routine. Do not become predictable. Arrive earlier or later on site while on vehicle patrol. Do not always start your interior or exterior roves at the same time. This is important because if someone is watching you or casing the site, your actions are not predictable, thereby making it harder for criminals to successfully hit the site. Remember to check all doors, windows, locks, and areas on your site. Nothing should be overlooked. Many a burglar has crawled through what to many people may seem too small a hole for anyone to get through. Many burglars have walked in an overlooked, unlocked door, or after getting in, has not been discovered because someone failed to shake a doorknob to check if it's locked rather than eye-checking. What to your eye may look normal may not always be so. There is nothing more embarrassing than to have spent the night on the site and leave only to come to work the next night and find out that the company was burglarized while you were on site the night before. Whatever you do, do it professionally, carefully, and completely. Note everything you do in your logbook when you do it, so that there is no doubt as to what and when you do something. Your client is paying for your diligence and professionalism. Do not let them or your company down by getting a little lazy because you did not get enough sleep, or did not eat right, or you are not in shape, so you did not walk all of your roves. Take pride in your work. It will reflect on you and your company. Remember the three types of security: stationary, mobile, and vehicle. It is also important to vary your routine, be thorough, check all doors, locks, and windows, clear inside and outside of the building, and Maintain accurate logs. The primary function of a security officer is to be on the client's site and to observe and report what they see. Therefore, they should know the proper techniques of observation and do the job to the best of their ability. Proper observation includes the use of all the security officer's senses. That does not mean just their eyes, ears, and nose. It also means common sense, logic, and aggressive action, the act of looking for things that might be there. If things do not seem right, if a security officer senses something is wrong based on the fact things are different from their earlier experiences on the site, the security officer must take action and investigate to make sure everything is in proper order. The security officer comes on shift and checks in with the client at the appropriate hour. Their first job is to pull out the logbook and make the proper entries. Then, the security officer is to observe the employees to see that they get out of the building to their vehicles safely. Then they start their first rove in the evening, which in every case is the most important rove of the shift. This is the time when observation is especially important. During the initial rove, the security officer does the lockdown of the building. The security officer checks each and every outside entrance and exit to see that the building is properly secured. In this process, they find those employees that are working late and asks the employees to please exit through the designated door so the building will stay secure while they are on the rove.
How you doing? You gonna be staying late?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I'll check in with you later.
About another hour, maybe.
Okay.
As the security officer starts their rove through the building, all their senses must be at work. There still may be employees in the building that will cause the security officer the extra task of coming back through to do another check of a particular area. The security officer is to be friendly and not reflect any negative feelings towards that employee for causing them additional work.
Hey Larry, how's it going?
Good.
You staying late tonight?
Yeah, I'll be here for about another hour.
Probably another hour. Okay. When you leave, would you mind checking in with me, please, and let me know when you leave?
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
See you later.
As the rove continues, the security officer does a complete check through the building, under desks, behind counters, in storage areas, closets, restrooms, and so forth. A complete check is done to see that no one slipped in during working hours. In addition, they listen for unusual sounds of equipment that might have been left on. If the security officer finds a computer that is still running in an office, the security officer is to refer to the site instruction book to see if that computer is to be left on or turned off. While in the rove, the security officer will hear many sounds of the building equipment maintaining proper conditions in the building. The security officer is to learn these sounds so that they can sense in the future when something is wrong. As the rove continues, the security officer is to listen for running water, listen for doors that might be closing, or for sounds that do not belong. In every case, if something unusual is heard, the security officer is to check it out. As the security officer continues through the building, they should be aware of smells that are not normal, such as burning wire, fire, or chemical odors that are unusual to that facility. When the security officer is satisfied each office on each floor has been properly secured for the night, they can do their final lockdown of exterior doors. At this point, the security officer will check building systems and log in the regular report. From that point on, it will be a matter of an hourly walkthrough to see there is no fire, running water, or other damage being done to the building. Now it is a matter of regular checks of the exterior of the building and the parking facilities to see that all is secure outside. On the exterior rove of the building, the security officer must observe what is going on.